Hello there, Riderflex Nation. Steve Urban here with more career advice and job interviewing tips for you. And as a quick reminder, if you enjoy our podcast, please remember to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes. And on today's podcast, my top 10 tips on how to get the recruiter's attention. Now, keep in mind, recruiters are super busy. Very little time to just have casual conversation or idle chatter with someone in the job market. They're targeting specific people and working hard to fill open jobs currently listed on their board. So not a lot of time to just have casual conversation or meet for coffee, so to speak. Also keep in mind that besides all the messages they're getting each day for active jobs they're working on, most recruiters are getting 10 to 20 to 30 passive or casual notes from people every day that just want to connect or talk about their careers or their job search. So getting their attention just to connect or say hi can be very difficult. But before I give you my tips on how to get their attention, let me share with you some of the poorly constructed messages I get on a daily basis. And by the way, I could probably share 10 or 20, but I'm going to share just a few. These are real messages. Here you go. Number one, hi, Steve. I'm in the job market. Period. Here's another one. Hi, Steve. I'm looking for a new job. Can you help me? Period. Nothing else. Nothing else in the message. Here's another one. I'm moving to Denver and need a new job. Period. First name only. No phone number. Here's another one. I'm looking for work. Do you have anything open that fits my background? Here's one of my favorites. Do you guys have any jobs open? Now, those are some short 1 or 2 liners that I get, right? Just every day I see messages like that, often just a first name, maybe not a phone number included, no way to really get a hold of them except to reply to an email, no resume included. Now, even worse than some of those short messages, sometimes people will send like a 2-page essay on their career. You know, hey, Steve, just want to connect and talk to you about my job search, and then like a 2-page essay on their career, okay? Folks, I'm never going to read that, okay? In fact, maybe someday after we put you into the database, okay, to make sure your resume is stored there properly, maybe someday we pull you up from a keyword search and we'll look at a document like that. But rarely will I have time to read a 2-page note from a casual connection that's not tied to a job search that we're currently working on. Okay, so long messages don't work. Now, so I gave it away just a little bit on what my top 10 is going to be just by sharing those examples with you. But here are my top 10 tips on how to get the recruiter's attention. Number one, drop your note to them on Thursday or Friday. Later in the week, they have a little more time to check casual messages, okay? Early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're working super hard on active candidates that are tied to active jobs on their board. So hit them later in the week. Number two, keep your message super short. Just a couple of sentences, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, not very long at all, especially with an open, introductory message. Number three, compliment them or make a note of their business or their accomplishments or something. Like do something to highlight the fact that you actually looked at their profile or you know what company they work for, etc. So a little call out, just a small little call out to say something about them, right? Everybody likes their ego stroked, so just include something in your message to highlight them. That'll get their attention. Number four, give back or show value. In other words, in your message, include something about being able to help them, right? How are you going to help the recruiter? What value do you bring by a recruiter taking the time to get back to you on a casual connection? Can you make an introduction for them? Can you introduce a friend who happens to match a job they're working on, etc.? So Show a way to give value. Number 5, always apply through the proper process before you ping a recruiter about a job that you noticed on their board, okay? So for example, if Riderflex has a specific job open, don't just send a message without applying through the proper channels. Always apply through the proper process first, then send a note to say, hey, I applied for this job, also would love to connect with you if you get a chance, etc. Okay, so always apply first. Next, number 6, ask the person you're trying to chat with if they can tell you who the recruiter is or what recruiter's in charge of the requisition, right? The specific job you're interested in is usually assigned to a recruiter within the company. So you may not be talking to that person on the message you're sending, right? You really have no idea what recruiter is tied to each job because it's different every time. So maybe ask the person you're sending the note to, say, hey, can you let me know which recruiter on your team is in charge of this requisition, and could I have their email address? Okay, that's a great tip. Number 7, do your homework, okay? Ask about specific jobs that we have listed. Never just send a general note, okay? Always do your homework. Look at what jobs are open to see if anything matches you and talk about that in your message, okay? Number 8, this is a no-brainer, but I'm going to put this one on here. Always include your name, phone number, and email address in the message, whether it's a message through LinkedIn or just regular email. Okay, LinkedIn is really a killer. Just make sure those little in-mails that you're sending always include your contact information in the body. Okay, and number 9, talking about LinkedIn, always send a connection request as well as the message, okay? Don't just send a general message to somebody not in your network and then not send them a connection request. Always try to connect with them so that you have them as a first level connection. And number 10, follow up at least once, okay? At least one follow up after you send the original message, but don't be annoying, okay? Don't be annoying. That's not going to help you at all. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day. We truly hope you find our material helpful and entertaining. And while our podcast can be heard across most platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud, you can become a supporter of this podcast by visiting our show on the platform Anchor FM. That's anchor.fm/Riderflex. You can also send your questions or suggested topics for future episodes to the email address podcast@riderflex.com or drop us a voicemail at 888-964-5876 extension 710. Visit riderflex.com to learn more about us. Thanks so much for listening, folks, and have a great day.